So, with the new recent Archon quest giving us a lot more information on Khaenri'ah, let's look into what we know so far and speculate a little on the mysteries surrounding it. 1. Khaenri'ah was a nation built without gods. This is told to us by Dainsleif in the new quest, and previously in the text from the Scribe of Dragonspine, stating that a new nation was being created without gods. This was well over 2,600 years ago, as the nation of Salvindagnia of Dragonspine were thought to predate Old Mondstadt, and Old Mondstadt was destroyed 2,600 years ago during Barbatos's rise to power. This would mean that they are one of the most ancient nations we know of, and that they were well aware of Celestia's history of destroying nations that had reached a level of advancement that could challenge their rule. 2. They were an underground civilization, where not many plants would grow, so they practiced the art of Khemia, a type of alchemy that focuses on creating life. The Irminsul tree, said to be located in the Abyss, is also life-giving, and has great power, as we see with its ley lines affecting the land and people. With Khaenri'ah's proximity to the Abyss, and the similarities between the Irminsul's properties and that of Khemia, I would say that the tree was at least an inspiration for creating the art of Khemia, and I would say that the people of Khaenri'ah likely worshipped the Irminsul tree instead of the gods. The Frostbearing tree is thought to be a fragment of the shattered Irminsul tree that once crowned Dragonspine, though it is unknown whether this great tree, taller than a mountain, was also just the branches of the Irminsul, as the bough is located deep in the Abyss, and its roots or ley lines are said to spread over most of the world, making the original tree massive. 3. They used codenames for their war machines, such as calling the ruin guards field tillers. This links up with the nation being built underground to avoid the eyes of the gods. If they were known to be an open rebellion of Celestia, as the people of Dragonspine were, they knew that they would be destroyed before they could challenge the gods. To go to such lengths though, perhaps the people who visited Khaenri'ah wielding visions were actually unknowing spies for Celestia. If visions are also known as the God's Eye, they could quite literally be devices for Celestia to spy on the people they grant visions to, and those around them. With Khaenri'ah's knowledge of Celestia and how they operated, perhaps these codenames were a precaution to avoid their true goals being discovered, even just by a vision holder being in their vicinity. 4. The Abyss Order is formed from the remnants of the Khaenri'ahn people. This could explain their obsession with revenge against Celestia, though their means are at odds with Dainsleif. They also seem to be able to corrupt others with their abyssal energy, which may grant immortality, as we see the aristocrat Landric from Mondstadt 1000 years ago appear in Diluc's story quest as an Abyss Mage now. If turning into a monster is the curse that was put upon the people of Khaenri'ah though, it seems to me that they have now embraced whatever being may be behind this curse. If the heavy influences of Norse mythology are followed regarding the Abyss and Khaenri'ah, the dragon, or great serpent Nidhogg, that chews at the roots of Yggdrasil and secretes a corrupting venom, could be the inspiration for an evil entity sealed away underneath the Irminsul tree that is the true king or queen of the Abyss Order. Perhaps the Abyss Order's goal is to free this monster, and destroying Celestia would break the seal that keeps it trapped. If the Irminsul is a route to other worlds, similar to Yggdrasil, but was sealed off, this being could be sealed away in another realm entirely, but is still able to exert some influence in Teyvat. 5. Dainsleif was one of the royal guards of the Eclipse Dynasty, and known as the Sword of Twilight. He has powers that are said by the Abyss Herald to be similar to his own, but different somehow. I think this could be the raw power linked with the Irminsul tree, and that the Abyss Order's powers are a corrupted version of it. The colour of his power being blue, the Sustainers' power being red, and most abyssal powers being purple, could signify them being from the same source, but changed due to corruption or purification. Dainsleif calling his power something from beyond may mean that it came from another realm that was connected by the Irminsul or Spiral Abyss. It's hard to tell exactly what this power is, but we've seen it involves enhanced speed, telekinesis, and the ability to interact with ruin guards. The common ideas seem to be that it is either time or space related. I'm inclined to think it is the raw energy from the Irminsul tree, or a realm connected to it before the energy is molded into an element due to his title of Bowkeeper. This could also explain how the Abyss Order can use elements without a vision, as the Abyss Mages hold a branch of the Irminsul tree to manipulate the elements. An out there idea that may also explain this is if Khaenri'ah had interacted with a realm that was so far advanced that they could enhance people with nanomachines or some sort of advanced technology, as we have seen something similar in the Honkai series. This could also explain Dane's power and how he was able to interact with the Ruin God. 6. Gold was conducting experiments that are said to have brought a curse upon the people. It seems as though he possessed the Genesis Pearl mentioned in the Battle Pass, and could have been using it as a catalyst for creating a power to defeat Celestia, or even create a new godlike being. Whether the curse was due to a being from the Abyss infecting Gold's mind, in a similar way we see with Khaenri'ah in the manga, or whether it was divine punishment from the gods for attempting to overthrow Celestia, is unknown. The snake-like imagery in Khaenri'ah's story, as well as the snake infecting the Genesis Pearl in the Battle Pass cutscene, seem linked to the same entity, which, as mentioned previously, could be based on the dragon or great serpent Nidhogg, which resides in Niflheim or Hell, and is said to signal Ragnarok upon its release, with its army of the dead. 7. Dainsleif was cursed with immortality, though it is not known by who or what. This could be linked to his strange mask or monstrous arm, which looks to be a partial manifestation of a curse. If Landric was able to live for 1,000 years as an Abyss Mage, perhaps the Abyssal infection grants immortality at the cost of corrupting the body and mind. Either Dainsleif was able to stop the infection before it could consume him, our twin healed him like Dvalin's Tear, or whichever being cursed him chose to let him keep most of his body and mind as a punishment. 8. The Dendro Archon was killed during the destruction of Khaenri'ah. I previously speculated that this was due to his refusal to attack Khaenri'ah, and Celestia murdered him as a warning to the other Archons never to disobey them. However, with how Khaenri'ah seemed already opposed to the gods, and their plotting going unnoticed for at least a few thousand years, they could have created weapons or developed powers great enough to kill the Dendro Archon himself. Alternatively, it could even have been our twin that killed him during an altercation, which was what triggered Celestia to attack Khaenri'ah and the twins trying to escape during the intro cutscene. 9. The Tsaritsa chose to oppose Celestia after the destruction of Khaenri'ah, with her being speculated to be the goddess of love, similar to how Rex Lapis was the god of contracts. Her witnessing, or even being forced to destroy the nation, could have caused her to resent Celestia for their cruelty. It is also speculated that she was in love with the Dendro Archon, and if Celestia killed him as a warning, this would be reason enough for her rebellion. Celestia killing the Dendro Archon as a warning could also explain why Venti and Zhongli don't seem to mind too much about losing their gnosis to the Tsaritsa, as they fear Celestia but also want to see them be taken down. The Tsaritsa has links with Khaenri'ah through the Fatui's use of ruin guards, and I think that delusions may also be Khaenri'ahn technology that Snezhnaya have adopted. 10. The Traveller's twin was active in Khaenri'ah for an undetermined amount of time, and seems to have been on good terms with Dainsleif, as it is implied that the two of them journeyed through Teyvat in the past. They may also have even been the inspiration for a lot of the advancements made by Khaenri'ah, due to the twins being from a seemingly more advanced world than Teyvat. In the Sword and Wings of Dissension, we see that the twins have visited many worlds before, and many have been destroyed during their stay by the star-devouring darkness that seems to follow them. This has been speculated to be the Honkai from the Honkai Impact series, as the two games are heavily implied to be within the same multiverse. This is pure speculation, but the alchemist Gold could very well be the Traveller's twin who had chosen to defy Celestia's rule after learning about the cycle of destruction Teyvat seems to go through. This cycle may be to prevent humanity from attaining the level of advancement that could allow them to challenge Celestia's rule, or choose to leave the world controlled by them. This has been shown in the lore of Dragonspine Mountain, a people that gained knowledge from both Celestia and the Abyss, that saw themselves as equals to the gods and challenged their authority, only to have the Skyfrost nail dropped on them and their nation destroyed. Alternatively, if the Honkai connection is real and Celestia are aware of this, Restricting the advancement of human technology would in turn restrict the advancement of the Honkai infection, as the Honkai will only advance to the level of technology humanity is currently at. This would allow Celestia, who are far more advanced, to deal with the Honkai threat, but keep the people of Teyvat trapped in a prison of stagnancy without their knowing. The Traveler's Twin may disagree with this method and want to give humanity the power to defeat the Honkai once and for all, or at least the freedom to choose. Regardless of whether the Twin is gold or not, their reasoning for opposing Celestia seems to be to free humanity and allow them to advance on their own without Celestia controlling their fate. 11. Rhinedottir, Albedo's master and creator, is from Khaenri'ah, and is also thought to have created the dragon Durin, her name likely being a reference to the Rhine daughters from the opera Das Rheingold, said to have failed in their duty to protect the Rheingold, which could give its owner the power to rule the world. I believe that she may also have been Gold's assistant, similar to the relationship Albedo and Sucrose have, though she could also have been Gold's rival or mentor. 12. Time in Khaenri'ah seems to be distorted, as Dainsleif says in Venti's Skyward Sonnet video. 1,000 years have passed since the god of Anemo left this land, but to me it has only been half that time, as well as describing the place as being in the sheltered meantime of a perpetual eternity in the Teyvat storyline chapter. And the name of Khaenri'ah, translated from Arabic, is said to mean stagnant by some in the community, though I have done some of my own research, and it could be from the words Khaenri'ahn, meaning traitorous, deceiver, or faithless, and Ri'ah, meaning wind, in Arabic, which put together would mean something to the effect of traitorous wind, and could be a hint to its links to Mondstadt. This could have been another facet of the curse put upon them, but a more intriguing reason could be that the god of time was killed in Khaenri'ah, and this is what caused time to become distorted there. Similar to when Khaenri'ah, the god of salt, was killed. She turned everyone in the area into salt. If the god of time was killed, and a god's death has some sort of reaction associated with their powers, this could be a possible explanation for why time seems distorted in Khaenri'ah. We also know that the god of time has been forgotten long ago, so they either went missing, died, or were killed at some point in the past, which would line up with this idea. 13. Kaeya is from Khaenri'ah, and his father plans to use him for Khaenri'ah's benefit in the future, though it doesn't seem like Kaeya is immortal like Dainsleif. Perhaps the distorted time had something to do with why he appears in the story 500 years after his nation was destroyed. The royal bloodline he seems to be a part of may have some relation to his resistance to the curse, though the eye under his eye patch could be a partial monster transformation as a manifestation of the curse, similar but less obvious than Dainsleif's partial transformation with his arm and mask. So, that's all I can think of about Khaenri'ah at the moment. I'm sure there are things I haven't mentioned, but I hope that you have a clearer understanding of the most mysterious nation of Teyvat after watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about Khaenri'ah, and I'm looking forward to the discussions in the comment section, as I'm sure our community has some great ideas and theories. If you liked the video, consider giving me a like to let me know, and if you're interested in more lore videos like this, subscribing is always greatly appreciated, as it helps the channel out a lot. I don't know what the bell icon does, but I think that's a good thing, as every other YouTuber asked you to click the bell icon, so if that's something you want to do, thank you. Thank you so much for watching and for being such a great community. I'll see you in the comments, but for now, good luck on your wishes, and I hope you have a great day.